It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Shout for the Trucker John live stream, gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream, come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. The Trucker John live stream is gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest brother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest father you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come on for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch him now, he's heading south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Only yes, the truth that your last street is the biggest never seen. Watch your mouth. He said so. Ready to show what that means, but if there's one thing I know, the truth that your last street is the best thing you've ever seen. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the truck of John Love Street is the best thing you've ever seen. Oh. It's time for the truck that John Street. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the truck of John Live Stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Truck of John Live Stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time and go ahead. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the truck of John Live Stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the truck of John Live Stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. Hi, everybody. I'm definitely seeing a delay. There's a huge delay going on here. This is weird. Why is there such a delay? Yeah, I was trying to eat my breakfast real quick. I had a bowl of cereal. There's a serious delay though. Usually there's not a delay. I don't know why it's doing this. Hopefully you guys can hear me. At least I think the mic is on. Mic is on, but there's a serious delay. Weird. I don't know. It's really weird. I did a thing where I was trying to. I did like the, where you post ahead of time that the show's going to be on, and then somehow there's two postings. So there's one that's sitting there idle, I think, right now, of saying upcoming, and then there's the one you guys are on, and then plus whatever I'm watching right now on my phone, it's about a second delay, and usually there's not a delay. So it's gonna be weirding. It's gonna be weirding me out this whole show. And I'm using a different tripod than usual, and it's weird. Everything's weird today. So today's gonna be a weird show. But anyhow, thanks for everyone for being here. Boy, we got a full house here. We got 16 watching, 16 thumbs up. So that's pretty good. See, it's weird because I'm just gonna be freaked out. I'm used to looking at this camera and being live, but it's like a second behind. It's gonna bug me the whole show. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep bringing it up. But hey, Roxanne Armfield's here. Hugger Greeters here, formerly known as Pisces Greeter, and formerly known as Teresa, I guess. Jackie's here. Carrie C. Steve is here. Jolie's here. Having a good time down there in Florida. Who else we got? Alvin Stube is saying good morning to everybody. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be. It is 9:11 here in Pacific time zone. So that means it is afternoon in, at least in the Central time zone, I believe. Wait, no, that would be still morning in Central. So I guess in the Eastern it's 12:11, yeah. All right. Nick Rich 56 is in here. Good to see Nick. And yeah, you guys don't see the delay. You're seeing it, but for me, I see a delay because the camera that I'm shooting off of is on my iPhone, and that's supposed to be that should be live. I mean, like it should be no latency or whatever. And I can see. All right, look. I'm gonna do something and go like that. It's about 1 full second behind. For me, for what I'm seeing. But you guys are just seeing it how, because, however you see it. So anyhow, WW is here, 11:11. Steve Farrell's here. Good to see Steve. Tim Farrell, weirdness prevails on the Trucker John Show. Yeah, it just wouldn't, it would just be weird if it wasn't weird, I guess. It's 12:12 in Toronto. We're already at, looks like we're already in the 80s Fahrenheit, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. We're supposed to hit a high of 96 today. So it's going to be a warm one. Warm here where we're at. It's good pool weather for the folks coming into to town. Okay, I don't like to eat in front of you guys. I know it's probably looks gross, but I'll try not to eat anymore. I'll just slurp my coffee. I know that's always fun too. The slurping of the coffee. Anyhow, so Steve says it's just after 5 p.m. You all know where I am. Oh, that's right, Steve. You're UK, right? UK guy, I believe. Big Hook says Highlander is here. I guess that's referring to Steve, I believe. I believe that's what it is. I'm still freaking out. I don't like this delay. I don't know why it's doing that. I have no idea I think it's because I tried to set up that schedule, the live show, and for some reason it's got me on a 1 second delay. And I don't think I think I can fix it. I don't know what I've done. What have I done to deserve this? I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. It's bugging me, guys. It just bugs me. But anyhow, I guess I'll have to adjust. I'll have to learn to live with it. Let's see here. Jackie's here. Cloudy and 76 there in Texas. Hugger Greeter, gonna be 73 degrees here today, and the weekend warmer in the 80s. That is spring for you. WW, you could refresh, but you might lose the feed. Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't think I want to take a chance. So I'm just gonna have to put up with it, and just know that I'm a second ahead of everything that I'm seeing. And a second doesn't sound like much, but it's a lot. It's weird. It is really, really weird, and I don't like it. Me no likey. Me no likey. So yeah, speaking of liking, did you guys like the intro show songs that I was playing around? This is a little recap with that AI app. It's called Suno, Suno, Suno. And I've been playing around with making little songs. And so I made that intro song. The one that I had out earlier was like the country version. And then the one that started off was more of like a blues version. And then there was like these pop versions. And I could have went on because the thing made a whole slew of them. I could have made that intro could have been 15 minutes long or whatever. I mean, it was just ridiculous. So I finally cut it off there. But so all those different versions, they were all the same song, but they were all different genres of music. So it's really weird because, okay, there's me. I'm seeing me in my real time. The iPhone that I'm doing the show from is about a second behind. And then the iPad is even behind the phone. So it's like I feel like I'm in 3 different dimensions right now. It's weird. It's just it's gonna keep bugging me the whole damn show. Big Hook says, nice intro music, John. You're learning from Hal. Well, I did. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, because he was talking about Suno. That's where he was making his music from. For that when he was doing his, he making little jingles. But I heard him mention Suno, so I looked up Suno. I went to Suno.com or whatever, and I was like, yeah, you could absolutely do that. You could make music. So I made that song. I put in the lyrics. I wrote the lyrics myself. Thank you very much. I actually did, the first one I actually did was where I let the AI do the lyrics. And so what you do in the description, you just put down, you describe a topic for a song. And I think I just put, maybe I should play that one at some point. It's kind of weird though. Where I just put like the Trucker John live stream is about, just talking about pop culture and politics, and sometimes we talk about food and animals and whatever, life on Las Vegas Strip. And so then it wrote this song, but it was like Trucker John, it was all about Trucker John driving, whatever. I don't know, but maybe I should post that one at some point. But it didn't really address like the show. Like I wanted something that was more about the show, but instead it just made a song about a guy named Trucker John, I guess. So that came out. I mean, it made that, and then I put my own lyrics in, and that's what that one that you heard this morning. That it's Trucker John. That one there is the one that I put the lyrics in, and then you can choose the genre. And so I put slow country. I just put slow country, and that's what it came with. So that country version. It actually came out with 2 different versions of that, of the country one. And then I think I put in there blues, because I think Nick Richards said, because I said, what else do you want to hear? And Nick Richards said, how about blues? And someone said jazz. And so I did, there is a jazz one and a blues one. And then it came out, then I put there's a random button where you can put random genre. And that's where it came up with like this, it says groove and percussion or something like that. So anyhow, there's a whole bunch of versions of it. I've just been having fun playing with it. In fact, I made the outro song. At the end of the show, we'll do the outro. That's the one that was, I did post that on YouTube, and some of you guys have heard it, have watched it, and left comments. So I know some of you have watched it. And I went ahead and I like this. I do actually like the song, and I went ahead and. Because at first I just had the title of End of Show, because it's like my end of show. I was just trying to put music together. Like I had the beginning show one is the one that we heard already, and then I was going to have one for the end of the show, and that's what was posted on YouTube the other day. And then I went ahead and gave it a title instead of just End of Show, and I titled it Door Chimes, because in the lyrics is the thing that it says Door Chimes. So that's in there if you guys want to check that out. I kind of like how it came out. It's like slow country, and there are different versions of that one too. And I've been having so much fun with that app that I went ahead and I wrote another song about it. Not about it, but just a song that I just came up with just lyrics. The lyrics. I don't write the music. I just write the lyrics. So last night, I did write another song, and that one is going to be called Paradise Road, and it's kind of, I guess the inspiration for it is Paradise Road, which is right down the street from me, It's in Las Vegas. Paradise Road is a big major street, goes through Vegas here. And but so then I just started writing these words, and it was kind of went off in all kinds of different weird directions. But I might be posting that. The genre that I put in for that was I put dark grunge with a bit of snark, and I'm not sure if I really like them. They're okay. There's one that sounds okay in that genre. I think I might try to do another country version of it. I kind of like out of all the ones I've done, I think that slow country one that I did, I like that one the best. But it's just a fun thing to mess around with. Nick Rich says, John needs to read this. Do I really? Okay, let me scroll back. There must be something I've missed. Something so important. Hugger Greeter. Okay, I read that about the 73 degrees, and W said I could refresh, and at 68 degrees. Nick Rich, you're synchronized on YouTube. Yeah, I'm synchronized. There's a delay. That's all. It's like 1 second or 1.5 seconds. Keith Politz here. Dow hit 40,000. Yes, thank you very much. Bidenomics. Dark Brandon. And yet, you hear these polls, and the majority of Americans think that we're in a shitty economy and things were better under Trump. I don't get it. Well, I do get it. Come on, mainstream media, please do a better job of reporting the accuracy of what's going on. Anyhow, is that what I needed to read? W says, better than the crap you were playing. Okay, well, I guess I'll take that as a win. I don't know. Hugger Greeter says, love the music. Oh, good. WW, I use to Teresa, Havana, Illinois. I'm trying to see what I missed, Nick. Did I miss something so important that I have to go back? Because I can't read everything. John needs to read this. Okay. Well, so I sort of caught up. I kind of skipped down. Like I said, I can't read everything. Big Hook says, do you think it's wise to debate Trump somehow? I think he will shout over by. I think he should debate him. Absolutely. Because I think when Trump does that shit, it just makes him like a buffoon. When he tries to, if he's going to try to shout down everything. Now, I know Biden has said that he wants it where they shut the mics off. And then I think Trump said, no, we want to keep the mics on or whatever. So you would think that the president of the United States, the current president of the United States, would have a little bit of pull as far as saying, hey, look, when I'm talking, you shut that motherfucker's mic off. And they should do that. Jupiter Judy's here. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping on in. Excuse my slurping of the coffee. I know that because sometimes I watch the playback and I see that, when I'm doing the coffee, and I can hear the slurping, and it makes me cringe. So I can only imagine what you guys are going through. So I apologize, but it is pretty hot, and so I have to slurp it. I can't just gulp it. So sorry about that. I'm not sure, but I guess Nick was just saying I should read the chat. So thanks, Nick, though, for being here, and for all y'all for being here. Jupiter Judy says 86 with a heat index of 91. Jupiter Judy right on Chocojon. Roxanne Arnfield, Big Hook. I think Trump will try and find excuses to back out of the debates. And Nolan Workman's here says Trump will back out. And you know what? See, here's what's talking about the mainstream media and how they're not reporting the great economy, and they're not crediting the Biden administration for turning us around, for taking us out of a crashed economy, and really just through all these great things, the Inflation Reduction Act and the Chips and Science Act and all these things that really have infrastructure projects in them, and bringing back manufacturing, which I know since Reagan we've been losing jobs overseas, and we've been saying those jobs are gone, they're never going to come back. I think even Obama at one point said those jobs aren't coming back, And so Biden is bringing jobs back, manufacturing back, to the Rust Belt, no less. And he's not getting credit for it. His administration and they're not getting the credit for it, apparently, because the majority of Americans that are being polled, anyhow, don't see it. And so now it's the same with this debate. Like, what if Biden backed out of it? See, that's why someone asked, should he do it? Well, I think he has to say yes, he's going to do it, because the mainstream media would mercilessly hound him about not debating. But if Trump backs out, they probably won't say a word, or they'll just say, "Oh yeah, he's going to back out. He's got other things going on, or whatever. He's going to be busy campaigning, or something, whatever." They're like apologists for Trump, and it's disgusting. And that's why we have the Trucker John show, Trucker John live stream, I should say, because there is another guy on YouTube that has the Trucker John show. That's why I always try to say the Trucker John live stream to differentiate. But that's why the Trucker John live stream is here, so that we can talk about the things that need to be talked about, besides just, bugs and, whatever. Sometimes we go off on tangents, but we also need to get it out, the message that Donald Trump was a complete and utter failure. Donald Trump is a criminal, lifelong history of crime, and he's criming right to this very minute, probably. And that Joe Biden is a really good and decent man and has had a great presidency and has really turned this country around. And because people see that, bacon and eggs and butter is a little bit higher, they want to cry, and the gas prices go up. They want to cry about how horrible the economy is, and blame it all on Biden. It's just weird. It's stupid. I don't like inflation. I don't like paying a little bit more for groceries, but I like the fact that wages are going way up. I like the fact that we're at full employment. And we've had great jobs numbers, month after month after month after month. And under Trump, we were hemorrhaging jobs. So, Jupiter Judy says that hurricane season starts, so we are prepping. Oh yeah, that must be pretty bad, pretty menacing, always having to worry about those hurricanes, man. Oh, okay, so Nick he's already getting antsy for the filters. Okay, that's true. That is, and I don't think you were here on the last show, Nick. And I did a filter for you. And I don't even think you were there to watch it. Big Cook says, yeah, I know Roxanne Trump is full of shit, big talker when in front of his delusional maggots, but an idiot when asked directly on policy. He will gish gallop the whole thing, and if no fact checks. Well, that was another stipulation, that Trump didn't want any fact checking. You know what? They need to say, fuck you, Trump. We're gonna do fact checking, and we're gonna shut your mic off if you're talking over Biden when he's answering questions. And if you don't like it, then go fuck yourself. That's what people need to start telling Donald Trump to go fuck yourself. I would love nothing more if I could be standing right in front of Donald Trump just so I could tell him, go fuck yourself. You're a fucking asshole. God, wouldn't that just be it would be like winning the lottery or something. I mean, if you could just get into Trump's face and tell him, go fuck yourself, motherfucker, That's what I would love to do. That would be a dream come true. Because I feel like not enough people have said it to him, That's what I feel like. Yeah, that's right, Trucker John, you're right. Someone needs to be a tough cookie. Tough cookie. And they need to go up to that Donald Trump motherfucker and tell, hey, you motherfucker, you're an asshole. That's what Donald Trump needs to be told to his face. Hey, asshole, go change your diaper. All right. Let's calm down a little bit. I mean, Tough Cookie, you're right. You're right. Okay? Donald Trump is an asshole. I'm going to say it. I don't like to be so harsh, but I'm going to say it. Donald Trump is an asshole, and you got to stand up to him. He's a bully. Sometimes you say you got to stand up to bullies. So I have to agree with Tough Cookie on this one. A lot of times we don't agree. A lot of times we are at loggerheads, as I think is the expression. But I think I agree with Tough Cookie on this one. It's like, yeah, someone needs to just go up to Donald Trump and tell him, hey, motherfucker, shut the fuck up, bitch. President Biden is speaking. That's what they need. That's what needs to be done here. All right, guys. All right. You made your point. You guys have made your point. And I gotta say, I think I agree with you guys. I think I agree. Yeah, no audience. That was the other one, Nolan Workman. I think they're going to go along with that because Trump likes to have the audience packed with his sycophants. So they will clap at every little thing he does, and they boo at Biden or whatever. Biden says, let's do it the old-fashioned way, the old Kennedy-Nixon way, and let's do this with no audience. And we just answer the questions. You don't talk over me. I don't talk over you. If one of us talks over the other, our minds will get shut off. Oh, and by the way, let the fact checkers check all the facts they want. Let the chips fall where they may. That's pretty much the Biden attitude, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. Nick Rich, I'll have to play the replay. Yeah, it was towards the end of the show on Tuesday, I believe. I remembered I hadn't done any filters, and I said, "Oh yeah," and I mentioned you, Nick. I said, "Oh yeah." I don't know. I said something about Nick Rich, and he loves filters, and I did my filters. Okay, so Steve Sayers, I wish Trump would sell tickets to slap his face. Well, I'm not gonna. You said that, not me. Nick Rich says thanks. Margot, I'm on Tough Cookie's side. Hey, Margot, good to see you, by the way. Good. Thanks for being here. Make sure you guys all hit that like, subscribe, and share. It looks like everybody has. 29 watching and 28 thumbs up. So that's almost everybody with the thumbs up. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for me. Hit the share button. Let's get the show out and growing. And someday we'll be as big as TYT. I was watching Don Lemon now has a show, a podcast, live stream, whatever you want to call it, on YouTube. And I was watching yesterday, he had David Pakman, Brian Taylor Cohen, and Cenk Uygur. And I got to tell you, David Pakman and Brian Taylor Cohen are awesome. And Cenk Uygur is disgusting. He even said on that show that he would vote for Robert Kennedy, RFK Jr. over Biden. That's how disgusting this guy is. That's how stupid this guy is. He's Cenk Uygur. If you're watching this, you probably are. You're another guy I'd like to tell straight to his face to go fuck himself. I know you're a big bad guy. You act like you're all big and tough and all that kind of shit, but I'm not afraid of you, motherfucker. So if I have the chance to ever get in your face, I'll tell you what a disgusting pig you are, and shut the fuck up, motherfucker. There. I just called out Cenk Uygur. He's disgusting. Steve Sayers, the only way I ever give Trump a penny. That's the only way oh yeah, if you slap his face. Keith Police says core inflation is at its lowest rate in 3 years. Dark Brandon strikes again. Yeah, even inflation is coming down here. But for some reason, it just hopefully by October or close to November there, which October is. Maybe the message will finally get through. It takes so long, I guess, to winnow through, especially with no help from the mainstream media. They're just disgusting. They're disgusting too. Talk about disgusting. Cenk Uygur is disgusting. Mainstream media is disgusting because all they care about is ratings apparently, and they just want to make this into a horse race. Because if they really just reported all the good things that the Biden administration is responsible for and how they've turned this economy around, and they're bringing jobs back, bringing manufacturing back that we thought was long gone and never was going to come back, and all this kind of stuff, then it might be not a horse race. And so that's despicable. That is despicable. Nick Rich says, fuck all fascists. Steve Sayers says they're always ragging on President Biden. Yeah, the TYT thing, it's stupid. I mean, you can give honest critiques if there's things that we don't walk in lockstep. We don't need to that's what MAGA does, right? They see no wrong in Donald Trump. We, on the other hand, if Biden does something wrong, we'll say it. But for crying out loud, you don't need to, because like Cenk Uygur was calling Biden, he was calling Biden like a criminal. I'm trying to remember the words he said. But he was saying that because Biden takes corporate money. Well, everyone takes corporate money except for Bernie or whatever. But maybe, I don't know. So he's trying to say like Biden is some big hypocrite because he takes corporate campaign funds or whatever. Well, look, motherfucker, until they actually do change the laws, then you're going to have to take that corporate money. I don't know. He's just. It's just, you can criticize the president without making it sound like you don't support him or you're not going to vote for him. I mean, it's absurd. Cenk Uygur, you're absurd and you're a disgusting human being. I used to like Cenk Uygur and I used to like TYT actually. You guys want to know the truth? So did Pacman and so did Cohen. They both, during that show, had said how, they watched TYT when they were younger, and that gave them the inspiration or whatever to do what they do now. Especially that's what Brian was saying. And I think they both, and see, you got to give those guys credit. They are not like me. I mean, they are very diplomatic, very tactful. They, very reasoned. They don't get into verbal, fights with people. So my hat's off to them. But you could tell though that they disagreed with almost everything he was saying. But they were very tactful in the way they do it. They're just way better than me at that kind of stuff. Marco says, I'm afraid we are coming up on a financial cooling period. Really bad timing. I don't know. All the major stock market indices or whatever are saying record highs here. We're at 40,000, I think someone said. In the Dow, inflation's coming down a little bit. People seem to be enthusiastic or optimistic, I guess, that interest rates might drop a little bit because of that. So I don't know. I think we're doing pretty good. WW says $1 million in cash is not that hard to hide. I don't know where that popped up from. Jolie says, I'm out to breakfast with my sister with a hangover. Oh, that's right. I heard about that. Super excited. Our food came and my sister sent it back because they mixed up the types of cheeses we got on our omelets. No. Yeah, I heard you on Liberal Dan last night saying that you were tying one on, apparently. So, yeah, I hope they get those omelets back to you ASAP with the right cheese, because that sounds like maybe a good hangover remedy, maybe. Yeah, W, you have to get money where you can. That does not mean that you have to owe the donor favors. Right, exactly. I agree with that. But then, of course, you could hold a little gathering at your resort where all the big CEOs, mid-head muckety mucks of all the big oil companies can come, and you can just flat out say, hey, if you give me $1 billion and I get elected president, then I will strip away all the regulations. You can do that, and that apparently that's perfectly fine. But you take campaign contributions from big corporations, just like everybody else does, and then according to Cenk Uygur, you are a corrupt, dishonest person or something. If anyone's corrupt and dishonest, it's Cenk Uygur. Steve Sayre says, Anna always looks like she's going to an after-show cocktail party. I haven't watched that. I really haven't watched that show in a long time. I've seen some clips here and there that pop up on YouTube or X or whatever, and I've watched a few seconds. I can't really stand too much of more than like 10 seconds of them. WW, they were bought off. Not So Young Turks sold out for the money. Did not say it was a plot. Yeah, because they did seem like they made a definite left turn somewhere along the way. Jolie, I fell asleep during Liberal Dan. Yeah, I know, because all of a sudden I was wondering about that. If you fell asleep or if you went back to drinking, because then I didn't hear anything after that. WW says, Cinema wasn't bought. She was sympathetic with her donors who were sympathetic with her. Not illegal, right? I don't know about Cinema. I think Cinema was bought off, and I think that she loved having all that money, you know. Nick Rich, I haven't had a hangover since my 21st birthday. Wow. So just a couple years ago. Keith Polite says, Sec Pete Buttigieg. Right now we're advancing 52,000 infrastructure projects in every corner of the country. Dirt is flying, frames are rising, and concrete is pouring. That's right. Thanks, Keith, for bringing that up. Yeah, Pete Buttigieg, man. I tell you what, Joe Biden has done a great thing for, I think, Kamala Harris and for Pete Buttigieg, and people that he's put on, like, well, of course, Harris is his VP, Buttigieg is in his cabinet position there. We're going to see. This is not the last we're seeing of Pete Buttigieg. Is what I'm trying to say. He's going to run for president again at some point. And Jolie puts the link to Liberal Dan, the greatest show on the internet, as far as I'm concerned. WW says, too much makeup on the women and even the men. Are you talking about TYT? I don't know. Steve says, Jolie, I missed Libby Dan last night, was super knackered. Went to sleep early, then spent all night wide awake because typical watch this week. Is knackered, is that like drunk or something? Big Hook, Citizens United needs to go. Dark money ruins society. Greed is giving power to lobbyists and corporate pirates. The laws there are, but nobody is forcing them. Yeah, we need to overturn Citizens United. Jolie says, I didn't care which cheese I got, but I was in the bathroom when she sent our food back. Hopefully we'll be here soon. I'm dying. Yeah. It would have been nice, like in Pulp Fiction when, what's-her-face says, like she went to the restroom and she came back and I think her food was there. She's like, don't you just love that when you come back in the restroom and your food is there? You know. Hey, Rocky Kitty South says it's up to the Congress person not to let their donations dictate their values. Thank you, Rocky Kitty South, or Rock Kitty South. I added a Y to the wrong word there. But yeah, thanks for being here, by the way. Thanks for that. Good to see you. Don't think I've seen Rock Kitty South before. So make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share button for me. We're trying to get up to more subscribers. We've been stuck in the 1740s now for a little while now. Kind of like the Republicans, but stuck in the 1740s. Anyhow, I thought that was funny. WW says the MAGAs have the best video out about the Baltimore Bridge. Makes the queers look cool. I don't know what that's about. Walter Makarovich is here. Thanks for being here, Walter. Good morning, Chuck John. Can you please tell me why all those clowns were up in New York in the blue suits and red ties? Must be some new KGB dress code. That's another thing. That is the mainstream media really covering that? I mean, can you imagine if Joe Biden was in some sort of court proceeding or whatever, and all of a sudden, members of Congress, they kind of shirk their responsibilities of being in Congress to do Congress stuff, and they show up at this court in New York, and they all dress. It's obviously, planned out. They dress the same, look the same, and they all have the same message of saying what Trump can't say because he has a gag order. Can you imagine the outrage and of the mainstream media? Just the mainstream, not even talking about just Fox News and Newsmax or whatever, but even just the mainstream media would be all over it, saying how Congress members are actually attacking another branch of the government, attacking the judiciary like that. It's beyond absurd, and it's frustrating, and it's disgusting, and it needs to stop. This coverage, they need to cover it for what it is. That Donald Trump owns the Republican Party so much to the point that these so-called lawmakers will stop making laws long enough to go and make outrageous, I know Hal doesn't like that word, but statements about the judge and the court proceedings. It's disgusting. Stop voting for these Republican assholes, people. Please. Steve says knackered is just tired. Oh, okay. Comes from the knacker's yard where old horses went to die. Old wartime era expression. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, thanks for that update. There's I don't think I'd ever heard that term before, and I wasn't sure if it meant because we had been talking about I think we'd been talking about Jolie's drinking, and you said knackered. I guess I was thinking maybe that meant something like that, but yeah, you're knackered means you're tired. Okay. Vernaculary is here. Vernaculary, thanks for being here, by the way. I slapped a like for you. Thank you so much. Slap that like. Big Hook. Poor Jolie hitting the sauce hard on vacay. Get better soon. Well, every now and then you gotta let loose, right? Jolie's earned it. WW says, still, I drug myself around the house, locking doors and turning off lights. I thought of you, Drugger John. Went to bed and slept almost till 9 a.m. Well, I'm glad you're locking your doors at night. I really am. I feel better now. Steve says, at least all those MAGA congressmen weren't wearing matching diapers, or were they? Yeah, and that's another thing. Can you imagine if Joe Biden were the incontinent guy wearing diapers, as far as I know, he's not. They would just mercilessly hound him about that. But when Trump does it, oh, real men wear diapers and all this kind of shit. Hey, look, the thing about that whole thing about that, and I've said this before, but I guess I should say it again. Hey, look, I understand people have physical ailments and issues, right? And there's a lot of people, especially when they get older, they have to wear adult diapers. They get this incontinence thing going. It's a common thing, and I'm not putting down people for that. It sucks, but it happens, and it's just, you know. But Donald Trump, in case you didn't notice, is an asshole, and he likes to, you know, put down other people who have physical ailments and have handicaps, or who aren't what he thinks is, you know, perfect for his eyes to gaze on. And you know, like at that rally, he was talking about Chris Christie and calling him a fat pig or whatever. So if you're going to be that type of a person where you just put down everyone's looks and you put down people's handicaps and everything else like that, then if you're going to dish that out, then you should be prepared to take some. So that's what that's about. It's about throwing that shit back in his face. But like I said, if Biden was the one that had to wear the diapers, and Biden was the same guy that he always is, as far as I know, I've never heard Joe Biden ever say one bad thing about another person's looks or about their handicap, or, you know, make fun of anything like that ever, never, ever. So if Joe Biden was the one wearing the diapers, then you would just not say anything, or you would go, "Oh, that's kind of unfortunate. I you know, hope he's doing okay." You know, but of course the maggots and of course the right-wing media, of course, but even the mainstream media would probably be talking about how Biden wears diapers and all this kind of stuff. So it's just the double standard of it and the hypocrisy. It's just so. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating. So that's why I guess that's why I kind of revel. Is revel the right word? Or whatever. Or I don't pass up an opportunity to bash Donald Trump, because he deserves it. He deserves it because he's such a horrible person, and he's always dishing this stuff out to people. So he deserves to get it thrown back at him. So when we find out about the diapers, and we find out he's sitting in court, apparently not just farting, apparently he's doing the whole thing right there in the courtroom, which that's part of incontinence. That's why he's wearing the diapers. But I mean, it's just to the point where everyone around him is just like, ugh. So he deserves to be, Donald Trump deserves to be, you know, put down for that or whatever. So I believe. Now some people would say, you know, turn the other cheek. I believe a guy named Jesus once said that. But I'm not Jesus. So and I think Donald Trump is getting what he deserves. Whenever anybody makes a joke about him, about his incontinence, about his flatulence, about his appearance, it's well deserved. That's all I got to say about that. Probably not. That's probably not all I got to say about it. But I'll probably say more later. Jolie says, "Oh my God, food here, vegetable omelet, and it's amazing." Oh man, you're making me hungry, Jolie. All I had was some knockoff Lucky Charms and cooked pieces of toast. WW Pistol Pete was fun to watch, almost like he was dancing. Are you talking about Pete Maravich? All of a sudden, for some reason, Rock Kitty South. I keep saying Rocky Kitty South. Sorry about that. I had to find something to listen to help get my mind off my cat dying in her sleep last night. Aww, I'm so sad. I'm so sad to hear that. I just buried came in from burying her. Thank you for making me feel welcome. Well, I'm very sorry about your cat. I really, really am. I know we love our pets. We get so attached to them, and we usually outlive them because they don't live as long as we do, and we go through several pets through our lives, and so we have to go through that, and it's always a sad thing. But you know, hopefully you'll be okay, and you know, get another kitty. And I know I'm hesitant to say that because everyone always says, "Oh, you can get another kitty," but you're like, "But I love this cat," you know. But anyhow, my condolences go out to you. Sad to hear about the cat. WW says, in the old day, we would never eat a sick cow. Steve, now, if it gets to the packing plant on its feet, it's butchered. Yeah, I've heard stories about that kind of stuff. 3 Girls, 3 Wheels is here. Says Trump was definitely a shitty president. There you go. Boom. That was sort of a slow motion drum sting, I guess. We've got a lot of condolences going out to Rock Kitty South about the cat, about the kitty. So thanks you guys for doing that, because I think we all can kind of relate to that, you know. Big Hook, the Republicans lack education. Their arguments are old and tired and easily fact-checked. At what point do Republican voters catch on and demand better? Well, you know, I think some of them are, little by little by little. It's just, I think, I mean, specifically about MAGA anyhow. I think Trump is losing support. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe the polls don't back me up on this. But I think his base is shrinking a little bit, and it's just because of the propaganda and because of the media, the way they want this horse race. They always are propping up Trump. It seems like, and not giving Biden the credit that he deserves, the credit. It does slow down this process of getting information through. Mr. Spock's here. Hey, we gotta do it. I gotta do it. Hey, I'm not good at it. I'm just not. But anyhow, live long and prosper. I'm getting worse at it. For a while, I was getting better at it. Now I think I'm getting worse at it. But anyhow, Mr. Spock says hi, everyone. And is just saying hi to everybody. So hi back at you, Mr. Spock. Good to see you. Let's see. W says the elite in the Republican Party are the best educated people in the nation. Ivy League. Well, we got our Ivy Leaguers too. Bill Clinton was a goddamn Rhodes Scholar. Anyhow, James Williams, I quit watching TYT when I heard him declare he was running for presidency. That is really pretty disrespectful. I thought that was clear with President Obama. Yeah, he was running. Jink was running. I don't think he is anymore. And now he's saying he would vote for Robert Kennedy Jr. And he calls Biden he called him corrupt, or whatever he said. I forget. I can't remember the exact words, but it is. And then he tried to walk it back a little bit, but it was like, no, motherfucker, you said it. Keith Lee says we need to keep getting better in communication in short, easily developed messages, soundbite. Yeah, I know that has been the constant criticism of the Democrats I've been hearing for 20 or 30 years probably. And yeah, that's maybe true, but I still put a lot of blame on this sort of weird coverage of the mainstream media. Big Hook says the Nikki Haley votes are hopefully a sign that Trump is fooling himself and that the polls. Yeah, I know. That is definitely a big indicator of how much support Trump has lost. With Nikki Haley, who has been she dropped out months ago, and she's still getting, big percentages, pretty big percentages, 10, 12, 15%. I think sometimes more. Tens of thousands of votes, and a couple of those primaries, 100,000 votes, I think that is a good sign that he's lost a lot of support. So let's see, Slava Ukraini. We got some Slava Ukrainis going on. Mad Max here, yes, okay, good to see Mad Mac. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We're at 39 thumbs ups. One more and we'll hit the big 4-0. Roxanne Armfield is saying hi to Mad Mac. Everyone is greeting Mad Mac. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. I will be back on this afternoon at 3 p.m. Pacific time, by the way, for the House Parks pre-show warm-up. So if you guys want to get warmed up before, you want to hang out a little bit before we go into the House Parks show, I'll have a spot for you. I know it's a big competition here. We got Johnny Million's going to be on. Who doesn't love Johnny Million? He's going to come on at some point, or maybe he'll already be on. I don't know. So we got Johnny Million, man. I know that's pretty tough. Who are you going to go see? Trucker John or Johnny Million? That's tough. That's a tough decision. And then you got Diane and Benny. I think are going to be on. As far as I'm concerned, 3 great choices. I'm a little impartial. I'm a little biased, but that's 3 great choices. So if you guys have 3 different devices, maybe you could watch all 3 at once. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. But you got at least you got choices. It's good to have choices, and you got good choices. And I feel like I'm saying choices weirdly. I feel like it's not coming out of my mouth right when I say choices. Choices. I feel like I'm going, choices. Hey, you got choices. We got choices here. You got some good choices. So anyhow, that's what's going on. Nick Rich, our timekeeper, says 1 hour is done. Yes, we've got 1 hour and 2 minutes and 32 seconds into the books here. WW, I voted for Nikki, but I didn't count in Illinois anyway. Why didn't you count? Your vote don't count? Mad Mac says, don't pull a hammy, warm up first with TJ. There you go, Mad Mac. That's the way to do it. Yeah, don't want to pull a hammy. W needs to get some groceries. All right. Thanks for that update. We've all been wondering, when's W going to get his groceries? Mr. Spot, too many choices. My time space can't handle it. There's time space continuum. Well, maybe if you put an extra O on that word, and I think you know what I'm talking about. Big Hook. Tom Hartman said during 2020 to 2022 that the Republicans purged 19.5 million voters off the rolls. Check your registration and get your paperwork in order if you're challenged. There you go. Yeah, and he has Greg Palast on a lot. He used to have him on a lot, and Greg Palast is the one that does a lot of that investigations about all that kind of thing. But yeah, that's a good reminder. Check your registration. I always just tell people to go to vote.org, because then that will have a link to whatever state you're in, and it'll take you to your state registrar's office or whatever, and they should have they should be able to tell you right there what your registration status is. If you are registered, if you're not registered, what you need to do, whatever. So I always just tell people vote.org, and then that will take you to the link that you need to go to. But that's a good reminder, Big Hook. Vernacularity says choices. Oh, choices. You got choices. Choices. WW have company coming. WW has company coming. Another great update from WW. Thank you very much. Keith Lee says former California Governor Jerry Brown could speak in buzz phrases. Like it or not, the media is driven by clickbait. Jerry Brown was a very effective politician. Governor somehow he got more. Somehow he got more than 2 terms, I think, because he was governor back in the, was it 80s or whatever, and then he was governor again in the 2000s, and somehow he worked around that term limit thing. So there you go. Nick Rich says, phone calls always interrupt my live stream viewing. I expect one around 5 p.m. every Sunday. Really? Like clockwork, I guess. Rock Kitty South says, WW, I am in Alabama. I voted for Nikki in primary. I don't agree with her policies, but at least she isn't Trump and has a few moral scruples left. And I hope that was sort of like a big FU to Trump, but I would hope, in the general, I hope you're voting for Biden. WW says, I have voted since then. Big hook, but keep hearing that, mostly for folks who haven't voted in a while. But still, it's always good to check it out. It doesn't hurt to just check your status, just to make sure. Mad Mac, yuck, yuck, yuck. Just remember, Nikki Haley is still, she's still against abortion rights. She's still against everything that we're for, basically. Just remember that she's no, just like there really aren't any Republicans other than in apparently Illinois, where WW lives. Other than that, I would say that all of the Republicans, they're not really worth voting for. Even Nikki Haley. I mean, I would, in the primary, if I was a registered Republican, I would vote for Nikki Haley over Trump too. But I'm just saying, because between the choice between a Republican and a Democrat, and I'll just say, I would normally say 100% of the time, but just for WW, since he's pointed out the corruption of the Democratic Party in Illinois, I'll just say 99.9% of the time, I would vote for a Democrat over Republicans. Mad Mac, wasn't Jerry Brown married to Lynn Ronstadt? I don't think they were ever married. I think they were boyfriend and girlfriend at one time, way back in the, I think that was back in the early 80s or something. WW, I'm not big on having company, not a great host, but at least the house is clean. Well, that's the least you could do. At least have a clean house. If you're going to be an asshole host, at least have a clean house while you're doing it, while you're being an asshole host. Rocky Kitty, yes, I am voting for Biden. That's for sure. Well, that's good to hear. Whew, that's a relief. But yeah, I'm glad. But I am glad that you're one of the people that gave Nikki a vote over Trump, because he must. I'm sure he hates that shit. Whenever he sees any votes for Nikki Haley, even if she just got one vote, he's the type of like vindictive little asshole that just can't. It just irritates him to no end, I'm sure. So, and anything that irritates him makes me feel good. Makes me feel happy. Walter Makarovich says, only one choice here. The others are good, but Trucker John is an up-and-coming YouTube star. Go Mavs, go Stars, go Trucker John. Hey, well, thank you, Walter Makarovich. And I'll just say, go Lakers. I'm not too much of a basketball fan, but I've always been a Lakers fan. And I'll say, go Golden Knights. Because again, I'm not much of a hockey fan. I would always follow the Kings because I'm from more of a Southern California guy. But since I've been here in Vegas, the Vegas things are rubbing off on me. So I'll say go Golden Knights, even though it was Dallas, right? We played and won the first 2 games there, and we thought, oh, we're gonna kick ass, we're gonna go, and then they ended up losing. The Golden Knights ended up getting knocked out. But yeah, thanks for that. I am an upcoming YouTube star, in my own mind, anyhow, at least, and maybe a few of yours. Hey, we got 40 thumbs ups. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. You know what? I forgot. I found this. I have the shoe box. In the last few shows, or last couple shows, I was putting the iPad on the shoe box so that I'm not looking down so much. And I forgot to do that. And I just noticed, I just saw how much I'm looking down a lot. Maybe this will help. Maybe this will make it where I'm not. Oh, shit. Oh, this reminds me of the old days of knocking cameras over. Oh, my God, you can see my messy room. You guys saw my messy room. I almost knocked over the whole thing. Look at there. Up and coming YouTube star has messy room. All right. Anyhow, I was just trying to put this iPad up higher so I can, when I read the chat, it doesn't look like I'm just looking down on my lap like this. Maybe it'll look a little bit better. I don't know. So I'll be like this, reading chat. I'm reading chat, guys. This is what you guys like me to do, so I'm reading the chat. Although, let's see, I didn't really find any new memes to put up. Let's see if there's a meme that I didn't put up from last time. Let's see. Here's this one. What's this one doing? Here's like a joke. I'm afraid to touch the screen now. I'm afraid I'm going to knock it over. Okay, let's see here. All right, well, now it's crooked, but wow, look at how, oh my gosh. Now look what I've done. Oh my gosh. All right, I need to shrink that down. I don't even know what I'm doing now. There we go. That was scary, huh? It's like the invasion of the big, fat, giant trucker John. All right, so there we knocked over the camera almost. I got a good shot of my messy room here with all my dirty laundry. You got a big zoom in of all my pores. But we have a joke here. It says, I own everything in these boxes. And there's the judge there. What's her name? In a box. The one that keeps just delaying the trials of Donald Trump, who's obviously very much in one of Donald Trump's boxes, apparently. Let's see. Big Hook says, California always seems to set the standard for the rest of the country. Need to stop the lobbyists, though. Pack gas and electric have a lot of answers. I agree. They killed a lot of people at the Paradise Fire. Because apparently there were millions and millions and millions of dollars that were supposed to be spent on things like trimming trees around power lines, and instead it was going into individuals' pockets, I believe. So yeah, they do have a lot to answer for. Mr. Spock says, I thought it was strange that Al Jazeera live feed was not popping up in my live subscription list for about a week or two. I had to go to the homepage, then look for it. Just came back 2 days ago. They were shadow banning you, Mr. Spock. I think they were shadow banning you. It still looks like I'm looking down, huh? So I guess the raising of the iPad doesn't really work. Maybe it's better though, because I think I would. Okay, what's better, this or this? It's not. Look, it's only like this. It's only like this or this. There's not much of a difference. But maybe it's enough of a difference. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. Steve Sayers, when does Banner report to jail? I don't know, but I think really soon. I think really soon he needs to be in jail. That's where he needs to be. Jolie says Trucker John has memberships, and we got super chats, which are always fun to see. And you can support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Absolutely. That's the greatest ways. And also, you can buy me a coffee. And we had someone buy me a coffee the other day. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say. People think that if I'm not supposed to say if it's supposed to be anonymous or not. But there was somebody who bought me a coffee on the last show. It was very, very nice. And I don't see that person in the chat now, so I don't know what happened there. But thanks for that. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say it or not. You know, I don't know. But on that app, they do have a thing where you can tweet it out. And I did hit that. And so if you want to go to my X channel, you'll see who it was. Because I just went ahead and hit it. It says you can share it. So I shared it and it said who it was and everything. I don't know if I'm not supposed to do that or if people don't like that. I don't know. But someone did buy me a coffee on the last show. That was very nice. Because now I'm drinking it. Let's see. WW says, things that are strange, Mr. Spock. Lots of folks hack Al Jazeera. Keith Lee says, AM Talk Radio is an audio open sewer. And which I never even listen to anymore. Like when I was driving a truck across the country, I would listen to AM radio a lot. But since I haven't been driving, I can't even remember the last time I listened to AM radio, other than some Dodger games that I listen through a streaming device. I don't even listen to it on a radio. Maybe somebody can do laundry. Well, actually, I do. That one tub there is the dirty laundry. The one that's on top of that, that's actually like I'm using it as a makeshift dresser. Because I still have stuff I need to get out of California. I have my furniture there, and that might look like a pile of dirty laundry that's on top there, but that's actually clean clothes. It's like folded up on a top of a thing, well, whatever. But yeah, but down here in this tub, well, these two tubs is dirty laundry. So yeah, you're right. I do need to. And I'm totally embarrassed that you guys saw my dirty laundry. I'm airing my dirty laundry for the whole world to see. Alvin Super Laundry Day, John. Yeah, definitely. Oh, the Giant John. So I'm really behind in the chat because that was like 10 minutes ago. So let me see here. Needed the giggle. I'm here to. I aim to please. Giving you the giggles. You need a separate camera. Well, yeah, there's a lot of things I need. I need a whole new setup. Eventually, if enough people buy me coffees, because in that buy me a coffee, there is like a little fund I have in there, or I guess call it a fund or a goal or whatever to get this stuff so I can get studio equipment and stuff like that. And I can be just as good as all the others. WW6 live feeds available right now. What does that mean? Oh, WW, maybe I should have read that one first. That really, I only watch it when something is going on. So what, Al Jazeera has 6 live feeds? Steve Sayers says, Steve, so Steve is talking to Steve Sayers. He had a week to ask appeal panel for a full 9-person reconsider. Oh, this is about Bannon, I guess. And then he can appeal to the Supreme Court, and they will not hear it then. That's his options out. So, yeah, I'd lock him up. And may he just rot there for however long he's going to rot there. Walter McCaravich says, speaking of coffee, do you guys have Tim Hortons coffee shops there in Vegas? There are none. I remember driving in the closer you got to Canada, of course, because Tim Hortons is a Canadian company, right? But they did have Tim Hortons along that kind of like I-90 corridor, I guess. I remember, so I've gone into Tim Hortons when I was up in the real northern regions of the United States. I'm trying to remember exactly where. I guess Michigan, maybe, and up around there. I remember some Tim Hortons, but they don't venture much further south of that I-90 corridor, I don't believe, and probably nothing west of, I don't know, Minnesota. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think there's any Tim Hortons down here. We got Dutch Brothers, but no Tim Hortons. Steve Sayers, my 6 plants are about 2 feet high. So far, so good. All right, keep them going. Hopefully it's better than the bunk crap that my ex-roommate grew in his backyard like 30 years ago. WW, my news is not making much of Bannon. Most of what I hear comes from liberal pages in the form of jokes. Well, Steve Bannon is the fodder for jokes. Because he is a joke. Big Hook says, anyone know if Randy Rhodes has a show today? I believe so. I believe she was just off for the one day. She was having a tooth pulled. So I guess, depending on how bad that tooth is today. But she usually soldiers on, you know. So but I haven't heard. So I guess I shouldn't say anything. WW says, no, I subscribe to channels, 6 of which are live right now, but I chose you. Well, I feel special. Thanks for making me feel special. 70B2 is here. Says, I accidentally put the lights on my comes at 17 hours and started flowering. Oh, for your plants. I put them back to 12 and I'm crossing my fingers. Oh, so your grow lights, your grow lamps might have been on too long. W, hamburgers and donuts. Mad Mac, Timbits. I like Tim Hortons. I really did. I remember whenever I was in the area where there was a Tim Hortons, I would stop there. Yeah, I would usually get, of course, a coffee, and usually like a bagel. They had good bagels. Says Jolie, why is a greasy breakfast and coffee so amazing for a hangover? You would think it would make you more sick. Instead, it's like straight up manna from heaven. Well, I'm glad Jolie sounds like she's feeling better. Glad to hear that. Yeah, a good greasy omelet and some black coffee. I don't know if you drink yours black, but you know, like this here, I've got it doctored up. I've got some French vanilla and two little spoons of sugar, but I like black coffee too. So I'm just thinking. I was gonna say. So I like black coffee when I'm hungover, but I really trying to think the last time I was really hungover. It's been a long time because I really don't drink that much anymore. But I'm just thinking if I was hungover, I could imagine me having a nice big old greasy omelet and a piping hot cup of black coffee. So yeah, glad you're feeling better there, Jolie. Nick Rich says, traveling Canadians visit Tim Hortons for donuts and coffee, not enough for everywhere. Clones, 72, clones. The clones have arrived. Steve Sayers says 77 years old, so he's laid up for a while. Oh, I must have skipped something, Steve. Sorry about that. I don't know who you're talking about. Maybe you're talking about your brother-in-law shattered his ankle in 3 places. Wow, that's a tough one. Especially at 77. That's going to be a long time to heal. So hopefully he'll be okay. Mr. Spock sniffing the air. Okay. WW says Bannon could still appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, but the justices there previously did not help Peter Navarro, another Trump aide, to stay out of prison on similar charges. So yeah, maybe Bannon could be cell buddies with Navarro. Steve Sayers says Golden Knights are out this year. I said that. I was talking about how they got eliminated. It still doesn't. I'm not going to change teams now. Stephanie B2 says, my insurance has approved the prior authorizations for the 5 teams I have to meet with before my pancreas removal. Yay. Well, good to hear that that's the insurance company finally did that. They're stepping up, and you can get going on that. So that's good news, yeah. And I hope all goes well with that. WW says, I live alone. Steven Sayers broke my foot 15 years ago, but kept working. Couldn't do it today. Yeah, it's weird how just as we get older, we don't heal from things like we used to, you know? Jolie says, yep, black coffee today. I also use fridge vanilla sometimes, though. Yeah, but today's a black coffee day. I'm guessing. But hey, I'm glad to hear that you're down there having a good time with your family, and so that's good news. I hope you guys keep having a good time. WW says, amazing what they make you go through, Stephanie B2. Stephanie B2! Anyhow, let me get that little tuft of hair out that was out of it. Yeah, so we got old Trumpy in the cartoon there. Look, that's a great rendition of him. 72 says, it's very serious procedure, so they have to make sure I qualify. I appreciate the thoroughness, and I definitely qualify according to their specs. Big Hook says, did your trucking travels get you in Canada? I never went to Canada. I never did go up there. I just heard it was just a real hassle to get in and out, and I didn't feel like putting up with the bullshit of the Border Patrol or whatever, and or the Royal Canadian Mounties. And so I was just like, no, I'm not going to Canada. I never went to Mexico either, because I heard that's even worse as far as getting, like, you know, hijacked or whatever. So I never crossed any international borders. But I did drive through every state in the lower 48 at least once. I think probably more than once. Steve says, you folks think Navarro will come out and show remorse having learned his lesson, you know, the point of prison, or come out and inspire the maggots or to go to jail? Yeah, probably more the latter than the former, unfortunately. But, you know, what are you going to do? Steve Sayers says, sludge cannon, so slow moving on everything. Rock Kitty South says, I keep hoping states could charge Paul Manafort and Roger Stone with something that a Trump pardon couldn't touch. They're very dangerous chaos agents and help get us so divided. Yeah, they talk about, remember the last show I was talking about sort of like the Mount Rushmore of assholes. I'm not sure if did I mention Paul Manafort? I think I had Roger Stone, Steve Bannon. Who else did I have? I remember I got 4 of them. And someone mentioned a 5th. I forget who I had now, but Paul Manafort should be on that, I think. 72, I better not lose weight. I only weigh 88 pounds. You hang in there, Stephanie. You got a lot of stuff going on there. But you hang in there. You keep strong, girl. You keep strong. We're all pulling for you out here, and not only the Trucker John world, but the House Sparks world, and I'm sure all the other Johnny Million world, and we're all pulling for you. We're all sending our, and I don't mean this. See, this is the thing is when I say we're sending thoughts and prayers, I mean it sincerely. I'm not like the right wingers who just want to just use that in lieu of passing, you know, maybe some good gun safety laws, you know. But I hate how now if I say something like, hey, my thoughts and prayers, you know, or my good thoughts, whatever, go with you, it sounds like I'm one of those right-wing jerks, but I don't mean it like that. Yeah, but So let's see what else we got going. We got the Trump trial going. I think Trump's going to lose this case. This Casey's the current trial. I don't know if he's going to get locked up or not, though. What's going to be the sentencing? Because he's looking at time, right, for that? Because it's a criminal trial. I think he could do time. But is it going to be just fines? Is he going to get jail time? Is that going to be, I think the judge has the ability to make that, like supervised home detention or whatever. And what's going to happen there? I really think that he should spend some time in a jail cell. Even if it's like 2 weeks, and then they put an ankle bracelet on him and they send him to Mar-a-Lago or wherever. And whatever he gets, if he does get jail time, and let's say they make it like home detention or whatever, they need to take away all of his devices. He shouldn't be allowed to tweet or troth or whatever he does. He should be treated like a prisoner if he gets sentenced to prison. Even if he doesn't go to an actual prison, he should still be sentenced to it. See, the reason I don't like this, I just tried this tripod today. I haven't used it in a while, and I forgot. I guess the reason why I switched is because the little stand or whatever, it ends up dropping as time goes on. It's like losing the battle with gravity. So I'll have to remember that. The only reason I like it better is it seems to tilt down a little bit better. Whereas the other one, it just sort of is straight and it's hard. I don't know. Anyhow, I don't mean to bore you with all this technical mumbo jumbo. So, anyhow, but I like this. It seems like this stand is a little bit better as far as how I can tilt it. But it sinks. It doesn't. It can't keep it up. It needs a little blue pill, apparently. I don't know. I'm just wondering if I could just, there's an old saying in the trucking industry, duct tape will save the world, or something like that. And maybe I could just duct tape that mother effer and just keep it where I like it. That might be what I'll do. Because I do like how this kind of tilts down a little bit better. The other one won't tilt. Anyhow, technical mumbo jumbo. I know it's all probably very confusing and going. I don't mean to be too technical here. Mad Max says Tramp will be a felon if he is convicted. I believe it's a felony. I believe you're right, Mad Mac. Nick Rich says jail time isn't mandatory. It's up to the judge depending on the verdict. So we'll see how that goes. Big Hook, Alex Jones, Manafort, Flynn, Joe Rogan. I didn't put Rogan on there, although he's the reason why I became a House Sparks member, why I bought a membership, because in that deal, and I think he's already got another deal, but a few years ago he got that big deal with Spotify for like, God, what was it? Like over $100 million contract. And at the time I had a premium thing on Spotify where I was paying, I think it was $9.99 a month or whatever, $10 for their premium service. And so I went ahead and canceled that, and I immediately just put that into a House Sparks membership. And I thought, well, if I'm going to spend $10 a month, I'd rather spend $10 a month on House Sparks than on Joe Rogan and Spotify. That was sort of like my little protest about Joe Rogan. So maybe he should be on the thing. But yeah, Alex Jones was one of them. Yeah, that's right, Big Hook. So it was Alex Jones, Roger Stone that I had on there, and who else did I have? I'm not sure if I had Manafort or Flynn. Those are all great candidates. I'm not sure if I put Rogan on there. I mean, he's definitely probably a top 10 if there was a 10-headed Mount Rushmore. I think there were some other names that came up. I think are a little more despicable than Rogan. Although Rogan's no great person either. Three girls, three wheels. I think he'll die in prison. No, but Trump. I wonder, like if he goes to jail, does that mean that he'll be in prison for a long time, or does that mean that he is in such poor health that he'll probably, even if he only gets like 2 years, he might die in prison. WW says, if I'm not typing, I am doing something else. Still listening. Okay, thanks for that update. Glad to hear that you're still listening. I was wondering where he's not typing. I hope he didn't fall off of his typing chair. Steve says 70B2, come over here. We'll treat you and look after you, no matter where you're from. For nothing, God, the U.S. healthcare system drives me nuts, and I don't live there. So I'm so sorry. Well, at least it sounds like 70B2 has a good insurance plan. I mean, Chad maybe jumps through some hoops there, but sounds like they're going to take care of her. So that's a good thing. Mad Mac, he'll just tell one of his minions to tweet out his foul bullshit. Oh yeah, well, just like he had his congressional sycophants going down, including the Speaker of the House, number 2 in line for the presidency, leaving his speakership duties to go down and talk on behalf of Donald Trump at that and run down the judicial system. It's disgusting. Yes, and you're right. But still, I still think they should take away his if he's convicted, whether he's in prison or if he's on home detention, I still think they should take away, all of his, devices, internet devices or anything like that. Because, like you say, he'll have the sycophants do it for him, but for how long? I mean, after a while, I think people get tired of his shit. You know what I mean? Of doing shit for him. And it won't be as constant as now. Because Trump is just doing it constantly. Steve says that Mad Mac, yeah, Merchant should haul them all up and just ask Merchant, not whatever. Do you think I'm stupid? You're playing with fire children. Yeah, Merchant, yeah. MJ Daniel, is there maybe if you spank it with the rolled-up copy of Forbes magazine? There you go, MJ. Good, yeah. That might work. Yeah. Get naughty with it. Nick Rich, gaffer tape is great for ducks too. Steve says, 72, yeah, it ain't perfect, but we think nothing about going to a doc or a hospital. Some people don't even appreciate it. It's totally okay for us to treat visitors. We won't charge. 70B2 says, Rogan turned my daughter into an anti-vaxxer. Oh, yeah. All right, that's it. He's going on the asshole Mount Rushmore then. You just convinced me. He deserves to be on the asshole Mount Rushmore for that. Yeah, those anti-vaxxers, man. Disgusting. I mean, for him, not your daughter, but I mean that someone like Rogan who has that big platform, and that to be that irresponsible, it's just disgusting. Big Hook, yeah, Stephanie, my sister believes in ivermectin BS because of Rogan. Okay, that's it. Rogan, you're on the asshole Hall of Fame. You're there. You're in the asshole Hall of Fame, and you're also on the Mount Rushmore Hall of Fame. The Mount Rushmore asshole. I got to word this right. The asshole Mount Rushmore. I'll get it. I'll get it straight here in a minute. Mr. Spock, it would be a good comedy. 3 a.m. President Trump. Right? No, it's not. It's not good comedy because people take that shit. There are people that it's like gold to them. It's like his word is gold. They don't see it as comedy. So it would not be good. It might be good comedy, but I don't think it would be good for the country. Steve says if he's convicted and allowed to walk while appealing, he should wear an ankle bracelet. He can show it off at the base. If he has to wear an ankle bracelet, well, then he can do the debate from Mar-a-Lago then, because I don't think he should be allowed off of wherever it is that his detention is going to be. MJ Daniel says maybe something like a Hall of Infamy since there are so many of them. Yeah, the little Hall of Infamy. There you go. WW Healing Up Chili that I made and froze last October. Hopefully it's still good. It was frozen. I understand. Big Hook. Can you believe Romney said he would pardon Trump? I just heard a tail end of that on Stephanie Miller's show. Stephanie Miller this morning. And yeah, it's like, fuck you, Romney. See? It just shows. People will say something like, oh, Romney's the reasonable one. He's a reasonable Republican. But he says shit like that. So it's like, fuck you, Romney. You're an asshole. I'm glad you lost. I'm glad Obama beat your ass. You're still a piece of shit. Just like all the rest of them, Romney. You can't fool me with your, even way of speaking and, trying to be reasonable, sounding reasonable. No, Romney, you're just as much of a piece of a shit as all the rest of those Republicans. If you're going to pardon Trump, fuck you. You know what you should do? You should be saying, I would give Trump an extra 100 years or whatever, whether you could or not. I mean, but whatever. Rock Kitty South says, I didn't see that what Romney said. Why did he say he would be pardoned? W says, letters from Birmingham jail. MJ Daniel, MAGA is not funny and am not laughing. Yeah, they're dangerous and they're sad. I mean, there's dangerous ones, but it's sad. It's sad that we have Americans that apparently don't really love America. Their vision of America is really like the old South with slavery, that's and just being run. However, they in their mind, how they see it, they don't believe in diversity. They don't believe in the melting pot. They don't believe in any of that shit. And when I say shit, I don't mean it's shit. That's just a figure of speech. Big Hook says Stephanie Rule interviewed him. Yeah, and I guess this morning Stephanie Miller was talking about that. Mr. Spock says it would when you edit Trump's rants, Trucker John, the magic of Hollywood. Yeah, it still wouldn't be funny, Mr. Spock. In my opinion. You might think it's funny, but I wouldn't. I don't think it's funny because there's just too many people, like I was saying, these maggots that they just love everything he says. So I would rather sacrifice a little bit of comedy and keep the country safe by not allowing that motherfucker to be able to tweet and troth and whatever he spouts out. Nick Rich says, would Pence pardon him? Well, that's a good question. My first reaction was no, hell no. But, if it meant getting some votes, I could see him saying that he would pardon him. You know what I mean? If he were running, he's not running, but you know what I mean? But my first reaction is hell no, he wouldn't pardon him because, and if Pence was being completely honest, he would say hell no. But he's a politician, and if he were running for president, and if he thought that saying that he would pardon Trump was going to get him some votes, then he would say he would pardon Trump. That's why Romney said it, because Romney doesn't like Trump. I'm sure Romney thinks Trump's an asshole, just like the rest of us. But he thinks that if he says, I would give Trump a pardon, he's only doing that to pander for votes. WW says the prison letters of Nelson Mandela were very influential, more than his not being incarcerated. And Trump can write all the letters he wants. I think that's different than social media. It's completely different of how the instantaneous ability, to put things out on social media, and where the platforms can take that and it could be theoretically available to the entire world, like that, is different than someone writing out letters and then they have to publish it, or they get completely different. MJ Daniel says, I'm not surprised any Republican with even a little courage or ethics are no longer in the GOP. It's not so much courage or ethics, it's about pandering for votes. If they think saying that they will pardon Trump is going to get more votes than it's going to lose votes, then they're going to say they're going to pardon Trump. If they think that by saying that they're going to lose more votes than they would get, then they would say, I'm not going to pardon Trump. You know what I mean? It's all about votes. It's all about pandering, and they can't be true to themselves. They can't say how they truly feel, because I guarantee that Romney does not like Trump and could care less, or couldn't care less. I always forget. Is it care less or couldn't care less of whether or not Trump spends the rest of his miserable, rotten life in prison? He'd probably be all for that, but he can't really say that. He feels he can't say that because it would cost him votes if he were to. Is he good? Is he running again? Is Romney running again? Why is Romney even saying this? He's not running. Come to think of it, I mean, he's running for Senate, I guess. Maybe I don't think he's up this time around. Is he thinking about 2028? I mean, I know Romney looks younger than he is, but Romney's well into his 70s, isn't he? So, are we going to keep going with these old dudes? Why? Yeah. So I'm just thinking, why is Romney? I guess he's just going to stay in the Senate or run for president again until they have to cart him out on a stretcher, on a well, whatever. W. I didn't say the letters wouldn't get out. I said it's different than the internet. W. Jesus. Minjay Daniel, even as terrible as Liz Cheney is on nearly every issue, she drew the line with DJT, and she was voted out. Republicans have lost their freaking mind. Yeah, see, that's the thing. So the one person, her and Kissinger, I want to say Kissinger, but it's Kissinger, or whatever the fuck his name is. They both, they're both out, right? They both got primaried, or at least I know Cheney did, and because they stood up to Trump, and I guess that's what they're afraid of. That's what the Romneys of the world are afraid of, and they really secretly or behind the scenes are probably rooting for Trump to go to prison, to lose this election, and to be gone, to be done, so they can go back to being just their normal scumbag selves and not have to worry about appeasing MAGA. That's really what they're thinking. Terry Taylor, hey, Terry Taylor's here. Good to see you, Terry. I haven't seen you in a while, Terry. Thanks for coming by. Good to see you. So hi, guys. Oh, and Romney is still a Republican. Yes. And even though he said he will not vote for Trump, he failed to say he will vote for Biden. Well, I can understand that more than the pardon thing. The pardon thing, I think, is, to me, I mean, I can understand that too. I just laid it out why he did it, why they do it. But still, I still find it to be, I still find that to be really disgusting. But the thing about, I can understand if you're a dyed-in-the-wool Republican, and especially if you're a Republican senator, I can completely understand why you would say, why you would not say that you're going to vote for Biden. You're not going to cross the party line. So I think it's probably smart and I think acceptable to say that you're not going to vote for Trump and you're just not going to vote for anyone, or you're going to, I think that's, to me, that's more acceptable than, well, if he said he's going to vote for Trump, I mean for Biden, if Romney said, I'm going to vote for Biden, I think that would be great for me because I'm a Democrat, and so I would. But I can see how he, as a Republican senator, being a part of the Republican Party, unless you're going to switch parties, I don't see how you could actually come out and say that you were going to vote for someone from the other party. So I don't really blame him for that or put him down for that. But I do put him down for saying that he would pardon Trump. That's going way too far. And in my opinion, he really didn't need to do that. He didn't need to go that extra mile and say, I'm going to vote for, or I'm going to pardon Trump. He could just say, you know what? I'm not voting for Trump and I'm not voting for Biden. He could have said that. And I would completely understand that. I really don't expect him to say that he was going to vote for anyone of the other party, because then that would make me think, then why are you a fucking Republican? Why don't you just become a Democrat then, if you're voting for Democrats? Anyhow. W says, if Uncle Joe pardons him in an agreement where he moves to Slovenia with his wife and her Nazi daddy, I don't understand what that's about. Where that came from, just advising. Yeah, that's stupid advice. Big Hook says, Cheney would use the current Supreme Court to strip your freedoms and rights. She is as evil as fuck. She just hates Trump. No page. Yeah, I'm no fan. I'm no fan of Liz Cheney. I'm no fan of Dick Cheney. I think Dick Cheney is responsible for all the shit that Bush did, because I think Bush was basically just had Dick Cheney's, hand up his ass and was just, like being used as a puppet. So I'm no fan of the Cheney family, that's for sure. I'm no fan of any Republican, actually. But I do, I guess I do, I don't know if admire or whatever what she did to stand up against Trump. And she'll probably, don't count her out. She's got the Cheney name. Once Trump is gone, because I believe he's going to lose this election, and I believe if he's not going to go to prison, he's going to be found guilty, and he's going to be at least be guilty of all these things. Whether or not they actually lock him up, I don't know. But I think he's going to be. I think he's going to go off into obscurity, and that's when Liz Cheney's going to come back. That's when the Mitt Romneys are going to run for president. They're just waiting. They're just biding their time, and they're just waiting for this whole Trump shit, this whole Trump shit show to sink into the ocean. And then there they'll be. WW says, Kissinger is my buddy, used to write me truly personalized letters and had his aides call me on the phone. I don't believe that. That's bullshit. WW says, many Republicans are convinced that healthy babies are being aborted much later than they actually are, and they are wrong, they're stupid, they're idiots. Nick Rich says, is exile really an option, Wes? No, that's not. He's just being a dick. W says, Uncle Joe can only pardon federal crimes. I never said that he could do more than that. Terry Taylor says, that's fair. Romney saying he'd pardon Trump was out of line, but not surprising. Unfortunately, if Trump had given Romney a cabinet position, then he'd be all in the Trump train. Yeah, you're right about that. Steve says, if anyone has real young grandkids, write them a letter from these times explaining that we weren't stupid idiots and we can't explain how a cult started in 2015 and ran for years. That's interesting. Josh White is here. Hey, I don't think I've seen Josh White before. So first of all, before I read your tweet, I have no idea if you're left, right, or in between. But I just want to say thank you for being here. And I hope you give me a like. Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the share button. Share the show out. And after that's how I greet all the new people. But let's see what Josh White have to say. Who is the one candidate from the past you wish would have become president the most? Wait, who is the one candidate from the past you wish would have become president the most? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is Hillary Clinton. But it probably should be Al Gore. We should probably go back to Al Gore, because just think how things would be different if the Supreme Court hadn't appointed George W. Bush as president. So I'll probably go to Al Gore on that one. Let's see. But thanks for being here, Josh White. Thanks for the question. Great question. Steve says this time will be studied forever going forward. Oh yeah, absolutely. WW mid at 77, same age as Trump. So I wonder, maybe he's not looking at a 2028 presidency. I don't know. Maybe he's just being a typical Republican dick. Mad Max says they probably won't put Trump in prison even if convicted of everything. So how about banishment from the USA? No, do we do that? This isn't like France in the 1800s. I mean, I don't think we can banish people. You either put them in prison or you put them on probation or parole. In order to get paroled, you have to be in prison. And so I think they can put them on probation or they can put them on home detention. I don't think you can banish people unless they're not citizens, and you can deport them and refuse re-entry to them. I don't think you can ban a U.S. citizen. I don't think we have that in our laws. Maybe I'm wrong. Are there any law experts in the crowd here? I don't think you can ban people or banish people. You can imprison them, and you can put them on home detention, and you can put them on probation, but you can't ban them to some island or some other country. I mean, the only island would be Alcatraz, I guess. So I don't think we can do that here. Nick Rich, Jimmy Carter for his second time. Oh, yeah. Good one, Nick. That's a good one. Jimmy Carter should have got his second term, for sure. That would have changed everything all the way down the line. And I think for the better, you know. It would have sped up the timeline of progression and getting things done that we needed to get done. WW, I keep trying to explain to you how some MAGA people think they don't trust government because they don't see how government benefits them. Thanks for keep trying. You keep trying, W. Someday I'll understand you. Mr. Spock would save a lot of money. Yeah, so what? Josh White says, good to meet you. I feel terms like left or right can become generic and bland. I agree. But I heavily lean towards the left progressive, especially when there's a racist, misogynist dictator in office. I couldn't have said it better myself, Josh White. Couldn't have said it better. I can't say anything better, apparently. WW says a private agreement between Homeland Secret Service, Uncle Joe, and Big Donnie. I don't know what that means. Big Hook says it's almost 50 years of right-wing media brainwashing the masses in the red states where no internet and alternate media is available on radio or TV. Sinclair stations spread conservative BS all day. Yeah, it's been a steady barrage, a 24/7 barrage of Rush Limbaugh and, Fox News. You are right about that. W, remove his citizenship. I didn't say that, and I never suggested that. I said you can't. Mad Max, banish him, then the CIA could take him out in another country. I don't think you can legally banish anyone, is what I'm saying. And you're not going to be able to disappear a former president. You're not going to render or what is that term? You're not going to do that to a former president of the United States. Mr. Spock is laughing his fucking ass off, apparently. Said something maybe to set him off. WW says, in a true democracy, Hillary would be our POTUS. But, no, in a true democracy, Gore would be our president. But, which would set up a whole different timeline, and Hillary might not even have ran for president. Who knows? Or Hillary would have won in 2008 or something. Who knows? Instead of Obama. That's the butterfly effect. You never know what's going to happen if you change the timeline. But yeah, I didn't finish your thing there. It says, but there still would have been COVID, so maybe Big Donnie would be our president. Imagine that. Okay, if Hillary would be our POTUS, there would still be COVID, but Hillary wouldn't have thrown out the pandemic response team and all the booklet, you know. Well, I mean, she would have had it. She would have made, just like Obama made one, she would have made one. And she would have handled it like Biden did instead of like how Trump did. I mean, so we wouldn't have seen 1.5 million people die, I don't believe. I don't think we would have seen, the hospitals being overloaded and overworked, and seeing reefer trailers being brought in just to store the dead bodies. We wouldn't have seen all of that under Hillary Clinton, in my humble opinion. W says no internet in the mountains and many rural areas. And you know what? You know who's bringing it there? Joe Biden, with those infrastructure, provisions that are in the CHIPS and Science Act and then the Inflation Reduction Act, and they're bringing broadband. They're getting it out to the sticks, out to the rural areas that you keep crying about, W, that Illinois rural people aren't being, their needs aren't being addressed. Well, you know what? Joe Biden is addressing them. And Joe Biden is a Democrat. He's a goddamn good Democrat. And he doesn't care if you are a Republican or a Democrat. He's going to bring out the services that you need. He's going to bring out the high-speed internet to you. He's going to build your bridges and your roads, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, whether you're a red state or a blue state. Because you know why? You know why? Because Joe Biden is a president of the United States, and he's a goddamn good one. And Donald Trump is a piece of shit who only cares about himself and his big, giant, multi-billion-dollar corporations and other billionaires and Vladimir Putin, who he's firmly in the pocket of. That's all he fucking cares about. He's a piece of shit. And Joe Biden is a good man and he's a good president. So fuck off. Steve says, WW, he did get the ratings. For whatever he did next, he'd be living in Mar-a-Lago on royalties. His daughter would be involved. Okay, Josh White, correct. Not to mention, how would have 9/11, Middle East invasions, wars, etc. been different if Gore was in office? It would all be different because we would have never have gone into Iraq, I believe. I don't think 9/11 might not even have happened because he wouldn't ignore the daily presidential briefings. Al Gore would have been on top of it. You know, Bush never even read those things or he ignored them. Whenever if Condoleezza Rice said something like, "Hey, there's this thing about the Taliban might be thinking about using planes or something," and he's just like, fuck it, you know. Yeah, I don't think 9/11 would have even happened if Gore had been president, and if it did happen, it would have been dealt with a lot differently. A lot differently. Yeah, Josh White. The Middle East invasions, wars, it would have been different if Gore. It would have been totally different. A lot of that shit would have never even happened. It wouldn't even happen. And Gore's big on the environment. We'd have been so far ahead in renewable energies, clean, renewable, cheap energy. Big Hook says, W, if Hillary was in the big pandemic task force, would caught it earlier and stopped it. Yeah, that's what I just said. I'm going to go ahead and skip W for a while because I'm mad at him. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad, but I'm just skipping down because it's just a lot of nonsense that he says. But it does stir us up a little bit, I guess. Mr. Spock, internet should be free and available to everyone as basic modern necessity. Josh White, do you think there is any hope for RFK? No. Oh, I mean hope as in, you say, please say yes. Do you mean hope as in getting the care he needs, the mental and physical health care that he needs? Yeah, there's hope for that, I guess. I don't think there's any hope of him being president. But is there any hope for him maybe becoming not a nut job? Yeah, I suppose a little ray of hope for that, WW says, out in the country, the phone lines have gone to shit. The phone company does not repair them. They can't make enough money. Money. So what are you saying? Should we subsidize phone lines? We do have We do have those free Obama phones laying around somewhere. So you know that every presidential cabinet or administration since Reagan has had a free phone program, whether it was landlines back in the day and then going into cell phones. So anyhow, just saying. WW says farmers depend on the cell signal, which is shit. And so voting for Republicans is going to make that better. How? When you have a great president right now in Joe Biden who's getting better internet out to the sticks where the farmers live, and you're thinking that if you vote for Republicans it's going to get better. How? I'm just hearing crickets. Mr. Spock says, watch Dusty Smith, Trucker John. He logically proves you're wrong about Biden. Why not see what the other side says? I'm not afraid of the truth. I got things going on. I can't watch everybody. But so Spock, you're coming on here to bash Biden, you know? I guess you're just another one of the assholes then. I don't know. You're just as much of an asshole as WW maybe. I don't know. If you're going to bash Biden. Biden's a good president, so he's doing some good stuff. And if you don't agree with me on that, then I'm just going to call you out as being an asshole. WW says, we don't know what would have happened. I already lost Ichabod Deer last week, so I'm not afraid of losing you, Mr. Spock. Mad Mac, hey, I can have my fantasy regarding the orange turd, and you can have yours. Nick Rich says, RFK is a spoiler, 2 choices. Yeah, but he's taking away votes from Trump. He's not taking away votes from Biden. So I say spoil on. Spoil on. Hey, Diane McNutt is here. Dear God, a little higher. Things were fantastic when Trump was in office. The jobs are up because we have to work 3 jobs to stay afloat. Diane McNutt. That sounds like probably an appropriate name. Things were fantastic when Trump was in office. That's got to be sarcasm. I'm going to say that's sarcasm. I'm just going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say you're being sarcastic. WW says, Uncle Joe says that he is going to help the rural areas, but the rural poor haven't seen it yet. Well, you know what? It takes time. They're getting there. It takes a little time. Hey, there's Marie Jean Greco. What? Yeah. Marie, first of all, thanks for being here. Good to see you. Make sure you like, subscribe. We're 1 away from 50 likes. But Marie, I'm saying, I'm just going to give Diane the benefit of the doubt that I'm reading it the wrong way, because sometimes sarcasm is hard to pick up in a post, so I'm just going to go with that. Joy Fox is here. Joy Fox says best hope would be for RFK Jr. to drop out. Like I said, RFK Jr. is taking away more votes from Trump. And that's why Trump is not happy about RFK Jr. So I say spoil on, RFK. Spoil on, because you're taking away votes from Trump. WW says cell towers to not pop overnight, blah, blah, blah. You're just going to keep saying the same shit over again, so, whatever. Mr. Spock, cop out, John. Cop out what? You want me to watch Dusty Smith? Who the fuck is Dusty Smith? Fuck Dusty Smith. WW says, County Road Bridge, out for 3 years. State and feds did not help at first. Had to appeal over and over. Okay, so there's a bridge out. Big whoop-de-fucking-do. Mad Max, Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi would probably still be dictators if Gore was POTUS. Maybe, I don't know. Like I say, the timeline changes. Who knows? WW says, we love Mrs. Bach, don't leave us. Mrs. Bach laughing out, brainwashed John, unbelievable. I'm not brainwashed, motherfucker. I'm not brainwashed. So you can go fuck yourself with that shit. Josh White, Mr. Spock, brainwash is what people say when they don't have any intel or data to offer to the convo. Mr. Spock, when you resort to insults, John, you've lost the battle. Oh, you know what? I'll insult all I want. It's my show, so fuck yourself. You're an asshole. WW11L, Ivanka is creeped out by him, Steve. Mr. Spock, watch Al Jazeera's then, John. Stop saying staying in your safe bubble. Fuck you. You don't know what I do. You don't know what my bubble is. Fuck off, motherfucker. You don't know me. Fuck off, you asshole. WW, main road into town from north. But I don't give a fuck about your roads either, W. Fuck you and your roads. Take it up with IDOT. Sounds like an IDOT problem to me. If that's what they call it. Illinois Department of Transportation. Don't fucking hound them. Don't fucking get on my shit. Mr. Spock, stop. You stop, motherfucker. Marie Jean Greco, oh, teach us, Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock, laugh at my ass, you're easy to poke. Yeah, whatever, dude. W, and I'm not reading W's anymore because he's an asshole too. But this, I don't give a fuck about your roads and your bridges in Illinois. Go complain to the Illinois Department of Transportation. Get on their fucking case. Don't get on my case. Joy Fox, I'm sure they get federal dollars. What are they doing with those federal dollars? Go talk to IDOT. Joy Fox, Biden and the federal government provides the money and incentives, but the state is... That's kind of what I just said, Joy. Yeah, we're on the same wavelength there. But the state is responsible for doing the projects. That's correct. That is correct. Jolie's concerned, I think, that I'm getting too irritated. Maybe. I don't know. Joshua says, back to work after lunch break. Thanks, Josh, for being here. I'm sorry if you saw the bad side. You just saw the dark trucker John come out. This was a fun and interesting convo to come across. And W, hope your internet and roads and phones work, or whatever it is you're talking about. Rock Kitty South, Biden is bringing jobs back to America because of the pandemic. Our supplies were depleted because they came from China. Biden is fixing the problem. We were too dependent on China. Yes, absolutely. Marie Jean Greco, I'm seeing lots of work being done in the roads and bridges in my area. And I've seen them all over the place, yes. Mr. Spock, John has an anger management problem. John is being antisocial. Wow, Mr. Spock. Are you going to start crying, Mr. Spock? Nick Rich, 2 hours already. Ooh, we're over 2 hours. Maybe we'll end the show. We'll give Mr. Spock a time to go get some Kleenex so he can wipe his tears away. We'll see if he comes back at the 3 o'clock show. We'll see. That'd be, we'll see how that goes. We did get the 50 likes though, so there's that. Maybe I'll go watch the Dusty Smith show. Whatever the fuck. I don't know. I've never heard of this motherfucker, so I guess I'm supposed to go look for Dusty Smith. Apparently, he's I don't know if he's a right winger, but apparently he thinks that Biden is a piece of shit. So I'm supposed to go and listen to that. No, I call you an asshole because Mr. Spock. Because you come into my fucking channel and you want to accuse me of things that you have no fucking idea about. You don't know my life. You don't know my situation. For all you know, there could be a bunch of dirty laundry over here. Oh, well, you do know that. Whatever. You're not worth it. You're not worth my aggravation. So whatever. Marie says, I'm a anger management teacher, John. You're fine. Okay, well, that give me some hope there, Marie. Gave me some hope. Jolie, stop taunting your chatters. Laughing my ass off. I know, right? Here I am. I'm always begging for subscriptions and thumbs ups, and then I chase half of them away. So Diane McNutt. Oh, here we go. Before we sign off, let's see what Diane McNutt has to say. I love that name, by the way. McNutt. It's Joe Biden isn't running this country. Hate to break it to you. Are you related to Dusty Smith by any chance? I'm just wondering, Diane, or whoever that fucker that Mr. Spock wants me to watch. Was it Dusty Smith? Diane McNutt, are you a Dusty Smith fan? You sound like you might be. Oh yeah, so Joe Biden, but I'm also, yeah, this could be sarcasm, Diane. So I'm still hoping, I still have hope that this is sarcasm, because it sounds like you're just bringing up, I kind of see what you're doing here. You're just bringing up some of the MAGA talking points and the QAnons. So thank you, Diane, whether you meant it or not. And I think maybe this is me misreading. I think this is the sarcasm angle. So thank you. Yeah, Joe Biden isn't running the country. Right. That's the QAnons, right? That's Q, and that's the MAGAs. Joe Biden's not doing it. But I'm confused, though, because sometimes they say that Trump really is the president and that he's running things, but Joe Biden, it just looks like he's the president, but he's not really the president. Trump is really president. But then they want to say everything's so fucked up. So if everything's so fucked up, then why blame Biden? You'd have to blame Trump. If you believe Trump is really running things and really the president, then things are all fucked up because of Trump. But on the other hand, so then if you're saying that you're not saying Trump is the president, but Biden is not running the country, but let's say, I guess Biden is the president, but he's not really running the country. I'm not sure who's really running the country. Is it Kamala Harris? Is it some oligarchs? I don't know. So if it's not Biden and it's not Trump, then who is it? So I don't know. But thank you for bringing that up. That really does. That is funny. That's funny sarcasm, bringing up the old QAnon points there. Mr. Spock, you're making lame excuses. Sad. You sound a lot like Trump. Sad. So sad. 70B2 says, wow, just got a order from Temu. I got pajamas and they are great. Really good quality. Who says Temu is bad? I know. I'm so tempted to order from Temu because I know that House Sparks has been putting down Temu, just like he puts down TikTok and stuff like that. And then Randy Rhodes came on a little while ago saying how she loves Temu. And I've been looking at Temu and I've been thinking about buying some stuff from Temu. Just to try it out, just to see if, and now you're saying the quality is really good. So, and Randy Rhodes was saying how it's cheap and it's good quality. So I'm very much thinking about ordering something from Temu. I know I sound like an anti-American business buying person. It's so tempting though. It's so tempting. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, Mr. Spock. Live long and prosper. Mad Mac Nut is the right name for McNutt. Well, I'm still holding out hope that McNutt is just pointing out, in a sarcastic way, maybe ironic way, I don't know, about some of these MAGA and QAnon points, right? Big Hook says, Dusty is guilty of taking info from questionable sources like Reddit and Twitter, and his pot and nitrous oxide inhalation habits put me in doubt of his radical stances. Mr. Spock says, do a Dusty Smith critique show like Hal does. Well, I would love to do that, but I don't have the capability right now of being able to put, run a clip. If I could do that, Mr. Spock, I would do it. And someday I will have that capability when I get some better equipment, and I will run a clip, and I will critique it. So far, I copy 99% of everything off of Hal anyhow. Right, you know what I mean? So I'll copy that too. But yeah, Mr. Spock, yes, I will do that. Whenever I have the capability to do that. See, like I can put like a still photo up here, like this little cartoon. But I haven't figured out, and I don't think this app that I'm using allows me to run a clip like that. It won't let me. I tried to do it before. And either it won't allow me to do it, or I haven't figured out how to do it. But once I get bigger equipment or better equipment, if I can get I want to get like a Mac Pro book or whatever, and run off of a separate camera instead of running off of iPhone camera, all that kind of stuff, then I can do that. And I will do that, Mr. Spock. And not just for you. That's something I've always wanted to do. Until then, shut the fuck up. Well, wait. Prove he's wrong. Until then, shut the fuck up. Okay, well, Okay, fine. I'll shut the fuck up until I do that. But yeah, that's a great idea, and that's something that I've wanted to do. So just so you know, Elvis Tube, chat run off the road. Nick Rich, I'll try and tune in later. Hey, well, thanks for being here. We are going to shut down a little bit. We're at 2 hours and 20 minutes. But Nick Rich, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for putting up with my shit. Thank you for just for being here. Jackie says, damn it, now I have to look up Dusty Smith. Well, I did watch for the first time last night, Dude, Doode, and I learned about that from Liberal Dan, because when he was signing off, he said that he was going to go watch Dude, and I'm like, who's Dude? No one answered me, by the way. So I went ahead and I just searched it on the YouTube search, and Dude came up, and then so lo and behold, I watched, I guess, about a half hour of that, and then I went out and I did some Ubering. But that's a very good show. I like Dude. He's a very seems like a very smart dude. A very smart dude. There you go. And he has like I guess a co-host. You don't really see him, but you hear his voice. They're very, very good. So I would check out Dude. I did check out Dude, but I tell you what, Mr. Spock, I'll check out Dusty Smith. You check out Dude, Doode, on YouTube. He was on last night. I don't know his schedule. This is the first time I've ever watched him. I was very impressed with the young man. So I challenge you, Mr. Spock. Check out Dude. Check out his live streams. I'll check out Dusty Smith. And we'll both shut the fuck up until we do that. But I can't do the thing that you were talking about yet, as far as breaking down and critiquing the thing. But I can go and watch it. So I'll go watch Dusty Smith. If you will commit to me in chat that you're going to go watch Dude. And then on the next show, not today's show, we don't have to do it today, but maybe on Saturday's show or maybe on the next Tuesday's show, we can come back and compare notes or whatever. So I'm issuing you, if you're still on, you might have left already. I don't know. Maybe someone can get the word to Mr. Spock that I'm issuing a bit of a challenge here. I'll watch Dusty Smith if you watch Dude, and we'll both shut the fuck up until we can come back and talk about those shows, I guess. All right? If you're still on, let me know. I'm not sure if you're still here or not. Nick Rich, I'll try and tune in later. Nick Rich, if you're still here, we'll be back on at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Let's see. Rock Kitty Sal says, Russian chaos agents have helped spread lies on the far left websites as well. The left is not immune. Yep, that's true. Jolie says, I ordered from Temu. Only half of the stuff was what I actually ordered. Won't order from them again. Oh, so that's kind of the first bad report I've heard, because I've only heard, from Randy Rhodes and from, was it Stephanie B2? Kind of two good reports. Of course, Hal is against it because of all the reasons he's against it. But now Jolie gave this kind of a bad review here, so okay, something for me to consider. Mad Max says, really the country is being run by Adolf Hitler. There you go. He's been snuck into the country from Argentina and is just in a brain in a jar. Joe Biden is for show only. Yeah, that's a good one. Hey, Jeff Curley's here. I watched Dusty. He has too many cats. All right, Jeff. I'll try not to yell at you. You can watch him all you want. I guess I just got irritated with someone thinking they know my life or whatever. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. If you guys see Spock, tell him. Oh, there he is. Mr. Spock says, why? What the fuck is Take the Dude is a character? There's a guy. You did hear what I said, right? It's spelled Doode. I'll do that slowly. Doode. Okay, because in case you didn't catch it, that's the name of the show. If you want to, try to distract from that by talking about Big Lebowski, then whatever. But apparently, I don't know. Maybe you're not taking the challenge. Oh, it says I'll check it out now. 2x speed. Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, go check it out. I'll check out Dusty Smith at my leisure. I'm not checking it out now. I'll check it out maybe this afternoon or maybe tonight or maybe tomorrow. Okay. But I'm glad you're going to check it out. So I'm glad you're checking it out. Janelle Walker, dude, Monday through Friday night. So he's on 5 nights a week apparently. Last night was the first time I ever watched him, and I only watched like a half an hour, but I liked it. I thought he was really good. Jeff Curry says, I'm still on the fence about dude. He reminds me of a frat boy. I don't give a fuck about a frat boy. I give a fuck about what comes out of the guy's mouth. And from what I saw, the 30 minutes of it I watched last night, I don't think I heard one thing that I disagreed with or that I thought was bullshit from him. Some of his callers did. They have a call-in show. That's a cool thing too. I can't do call-ins right now, but maybe someday I will be. 56 Nick Rich says, "Blessed are the peacemakers." Let's see. There's Jolie. She dropped the link for Dude on YouTube. Thank you, Jolie. I'm assuming this is correct channel. Not 100% sure. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure either. I know I found it last night, but I'm not. I just clicked on it when I saw it. Mad Mac, just watched my mate Sean the Sheep Man. He's a good lad in Scotland with fantastic border collies and sheep. It's great and lovely. Yeah, that's fine. Take a little break and watch sheep. All right. So Jolie, is Dusty Smith the Dusty Smith Show? That's a good question. I don't know. We'll see if Mr. Spock can tell us that. Or maybe whoever else, I guess Jeff Curry could tell us. My favorite part of Dusty's show is religious bullshit segment. Let's see here. Tim Nelson, hey Trucker John, I'm a little late, but here. Well, thanks for coming. Better late than never. Although I am about ready to end the show because we are at almost 2.5 hours, and I'll be coming back on at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Just a reminder, we'll be doing the House Sparks pre-show warm-up. You don't have to be a House Sparks fan or sparkler. It's open to everybody, even the people that I call names. I'm trying to keep Mr. Spock. I already lost Nick about deer. I'm trying to keep Mr. Spock. But see you on Randy Rhodes later. Yeah, Randy's coming on in about a half an hour, a little over half an hour. She'll be on. Thanks, Tim, for being here. Thanks, guys. Got 50. We managed to get 50 thumbs ups. I feel like I'm losing my voice. So I guess I need to take a break, get some more water, but I want to thank all you guys for being here. And I'm sorry. I know I yell at people sometimes and I call them assholes. And you're right, Mr. Spock. I don't know if you're right, but I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't have done that. But just enough of that. What the fuck was Dude Stuttering John is more entertaining? I don't know. I don't know what you watched, but you need to watch more than 10 seconds of it. Because when I watch Dusty Smith, I'm gonna watch a whole show. I'm not gonna watch 2 minutes of it on 2x speed and make some sort of assessment out of it. I will watch Dusty Smith. I'll find one of his latest live streams and I'll sit and watch the whole thing. As long as it's not 10 hours. But if it's like a 2 or 3 hour show, I'll sit down and watch it. I'm not going to watch 2 seconds of it and then come back and say, oh, it sucks. Anyhow, thanks for being here. Did Steve leave? Someone said bye to Steve. Oh, yeah. See you around here. Thanks, Steve. Thanks you so much for being here. Thanks, guys. Okay, so I'm going to end the show, and I'll see you guys back here at 3 p.m. Don't forget, 3 p.m. Pacific time. So adjust accordingly to your time zones. And now I'm going to close the show out. Not only am I going to be stretching, so I don't pull a hammy, but we'll close the show out with the hit song. It's a hit. It's a big hit called Door Chimes. It's the closing show. It's going to be the closing song from now on. So we'll go ahead and close with that. And let me see if I can get that off of there. And here it is. I'll see you guys at 3. There it is.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I'm trying to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win. Right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be on too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John.